Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 13th. It is 6:19 right now. Market's going to open in about 11 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. So I will start off by marking up liquidity per usual. Today's Trap Tuesday. Most of you guys know that. It's just a day during the week when a lot of traps get set up. So just be a little cautious with entries for today. I'll mark up liquidity so that we can look for any possible liquidity on open. However, we're gonna be a little cautious with the entries for today, of course. All right. Looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium so that we can get started with our analysis. All right, looks good. Link is sent out. All right, perfect. I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And then we will get started shortly with our analysis for today. Profits here from Sisu. All right, so I'm gonna start off by marking up liquidity here on the daily time frame. So let me go ahead and mark this up real quick over here. Goes daily liquidity. Daily liquidity. This level. All right, let's go down to the 8-hour. Let's go down to the 4-hour. Nothing there. 2-hour. It's actually a ton right here. I don't know if all of them are going to get hit, but I will mark them up right there. Last level. All right, 1-hour. there. 30-minute. We still got a lot of liquidity on the bottom side, as you guys can see. It's probably not going to get hit today, but it will get hit eventually. 15-minute. And 10-minute time frame. All right, so we pretty much had a liquidity markup right there. Back to the 1 minute over here. As you guys can see, we have a 2-hour liquidity right here down below. And I think this is a daily liquidity up here. So yeah, that is the daily liquidity. So we'll see what happens here when the market opens. Price is currently right here down the middle. Everything on right here. It is about 800 pips away from the top liquidity. So it's a bit far, and it's about 1,400 pips away from the bottom liquidity. So it's not close to any areas of liquidity. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I think price will be bullish today, but we'll see what happens when the market actually opens. Looking over here at the overall bias for the day, we currently have a neutral bias on the shorter time frames. As you can see over here, prices in between the pivots, prices above, but in between right here on the 5 and above here on the 10. So we have a bullish to neutral bias on the short-term time frames. On the higher time frames, obviously very bullish bias. You can see prices above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. Basically have a bullish bias with regard to the trend. Looking over here at the fundamentals, fundamentals are currently 97 points in the green right now, pre-markets. We do have a bullish bias. It's not very strong, but it is bullish for fundamentals. And lastly, over here on the retail sentiment is currently 64% short. This indicates that 64% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. We also had news this morning, CPI. So CPI over here at 5:30 was negative, like we anticipated. I mentioned that it would probably be negative, and it was. So here we are on the clean chart. I'm going to go and mark up CPI news, which is obviously this big crazy candle right here. So that's going to be a little tricky because that 2-hour liquidity zone is the CPI news. So we had CPI news right there at 5:30. And I think that's it for today. There's a 30-year bond auction at 10 o'clock. But other than that, there's not really much other news coming up for today. So yeah, CPI right there, red book at 5:55, and then news at 8:30. So I'll mark up the 5:55 news as well, which was right there. All right, guys, market is about to open in about 30 seconds. I mean, we'll see where price goes. Liquidity is nowhere to be found, at least not near current price. So I don't think we're getting liquidity right here, at least not at the moment. If liquidity comes later in the session, probably only go for 100 pips versus the normal 300, just because of the direction of price there. All right, guys, there goes opening bell. Price is still right down the middle, not really close to any liquidity zone. So we'll see what happens in a few. But at the moment, we're not really close to any liquidity. Liquidity up top is about 700 pips away. So it's got a distance to go. Even if price does push up, we don't want it to be a straight push to the upside. We want at least, some sort of retracement consolidation range before it gets to that point, because we don't want price to be overextended by the time price gets there. So at the moment, we just don't have anything right now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put up the overall bias right here. Today's overall bias, retail sentiment is bullish, 62% short. Fundamentals, bullish neutral, or let's put bullish. Plus 90 points. Short-term technical bias. Almost say neutral. Long-term technical bias, bullish. So that is the current bias for today right now. I'm gonna go and mark up opening price. Today's Trap Tuesday, guys, as you guys know, so just be careful with the market. We're gonna get a lot of unusual movement today. Nothing to be, it's no shock to us, Trap Tuesday is normal. It's not like something that just happens randomly, happens every Tuesday. Mark up 630 right there. 8 o'clock right there. I actually want price to come down. The farther it comes down, the better it'll be when price comes back up. Because in that case, then we'll be able to catch the correction to the upside. So I actually want price to come down. I kind of want price to come back down to this area. So this is the area before the crazy news happened right here. So I actually want price to come down to this area here. And then when it corrects back up, we can ride that back up to open, right? So we'll see what happens here shortly. But at the moment, it does not look like there is any area of liquidity for us to reach. All right, let's see what's here so far. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Dan. Morning, Surin. Morning, CJ. Morning, Javier. Morning, Nikki. Morning, Ben Hartwig. Morning, Maria. Morning, Rick. Morning, everybody. Rashida said, is the top liquidity the daily? Yes, that is correct, Rashida. The top liquidity is the daily right there. Hey, Brian. Morning. Morning, Saiyan. Morning, Barty. Morning, Jason. Yeah, Jason's asking if the bias today is buy. It's bullish for the most part right now. So the bias is somewhat bullish, but you got to keep in mind today's Trap Tuesday. So expect a lot of unusual price movement to happen. A lot of fake outs, a lot of kind of spikes in price. You can see right now, price isn't really moving right now. It's kind of like setting up these traps. So just be careful. The liquidity is up here for the daily. If we do get this point, I'm probably only going to go for 100 pips because obvious reasons. It's kind of far out. In order for us to take that too, I want price to not necessarily do this. I don't want this to happen right here. Because if this happens, it's probably going to fake out and come right back down. I want something like a messy move to the upside. So I want price to push up a little bit, consolidate, push up a little bit, consolidate further, and then blast right through. That's kind of what I want to happen right here. This is a good move. I actually want it to be messy because if you get a push that's straight to the upside like this is probably what's going to happen. Price will push up, it'll touch it, come down super hard, come back up, come down super hard, and then blast through, right? You guys have seen this pattern. This is exactly what happened yesterday. So you don't want it to be overextended. You want it to actually push up, have a little bit of a mess here, come back, and then touch it and blast right through. So just keep that in mind. All right, nothing right now. It's pretty much it for the moment. I'm gonna go and mark up the higher high and lower low so that you guys can see the top and bottom. There's a pending higher high right there. I'll leave that alone for now until price is actually established. So we got the higher high right there and lower low right there. Price is pretty much in a range at the moment. There's no entry for us to take right now, specifically. All right. We got a new higher high right there starting to establish, but it's not necessarily there yet. There's no entries here at the moment. No V1s, no high level momentum scalps, like nothing really. Closest thing that we may possibly have will probably be the liquidity if price does get to that point. But as you can see, price is in a range. I just drew the higher high right there and lower low. Market open right here, this blue line. This is open price. So you can see price is attempting to make its way to the upside. Just be careful with it because, as I mentioned, in order for it to reach liquidity, it's probably going to be overextended. So price is pushing up right here. You don't want this to like blast right through. You want it to kind of be a little, you want it to come up, retrace, and then come back up and break through. Because if it goes from this point all the way up to there, so look where price is currently pushed. If it goes straight up without any retracement, that's about 1,300 pip move. It would have to be due for some retracement. So something to pay attention to. Let's see. Hussein's asking, hi, Sean, you didn't mark other time frame liquidity. Yeah, we marked up all the time frames, Hussein. Hussein's also asking, are we taking the daily liquidity today? I mean, if price gets to the point, Hussein, we're 7 minutes in, price is too far from each area of liquidity. First area from liquidity appears about 1,300 pips. And the area from liquidity down here is even further. It's 1,700 pips. So, yeah, we marked up all liquidity. There just isn't any liquidity that's nearby at the moment. So we're just waiting for it to get to that point. Brian's asking about the SR entry. So let me check this real quick. Looks like there is an SR entry running right now. Yeah, so there's an SR entry running right there that that Brian mentioned. See if it pushes through. It probably will. It's going to be right there. Similar right here. Looks like it already hit. Yep, full TP right there. I actually took it with you, Brian. I don't know if you caught it. Thanks for the heads up because I didn't know that I was playing. Went straight to full TP right there. If you guys are familiar with the strategy, this is the one that I mentioned during the summer. It's one of our summer strategies. It's good for sideways markets like we're currently in. So this is what I mentioned. You know, this is like one of the strategies we use during the summer. We're entering summer. It's not officially summer yet. Summer is coming in about 7 days. I think June 20th, June 21st is official day of summer. But as you guys can see, market is starting to go sideways. So big thanks to Brian over here for the heads up. I wasn't going to take it, but I saw price retrace back and I was like, oh, it's perfect. It's right at entry point. I took it and I locked in a total profit of 2,420. So amazing work right there, Brian. Thanks for catching that and identifying it. I wouldn't have seen it without you. So thanks for the heads up right there. It looks like Sisu caught it and Rick caught it as well. So as you guys can see, if you guys know these strategies, the strategies work perfectly fine. It's just really understanding, oh, fuck, I hit the liquidity. It's okay. I missed the liquidity here, but I already I got the SR rejection. So if you guys caught either one, we already had the thing sitting right there. I'm not sure if anybody caught it, as I mentioned. Either way, it's I would have caught this one or I would have caught the liquidity. So one of them would have hit regardless. So I don't know if anybody caught this liquidity right here. I caught the other move here for the SR rejection scalp. That thing is blasted right through. Went up here, hit the daily liquidity. So if you caught one or the other, it would have been either one. So it looks like CJ caught that one, Maddie caught that one, Maria caught that one. I made my profit on the first trade, so it's the same thing. Would have been liquidity or it would have been the SR rejection. Rick, did you catch the SR rejection? There's 2 entries right there. So okay, so you same situation with me, Rick. So me and Rick, unfortunately, I was on this screen over here for the SR rejection scalp, and I missed the other one, but we got one of them. So that's all that matters. So solid. Andrew over here got both. He got the SR rejection scalp and he got the liquidity push. Looks like it's going right through. Yeah, so if you guys caught it, great. This is why the higher level liquidities are more important, right? So I mentioned this in the past, like if you guys are looking at the liquidity levels, the higher levels are going to be a lot stronger. I was only going to go for 100 pips here, but either trade you took, it would have hit full TP. So I'm going to go and mark this up first. I'll just give you guys the update because I'm going to take a screenshot of my profits. I'm not going to count the SR rejection scalp. We'll count this one because we were already looking for this trade here. But I just want to give you guys a heads up so that you guys know which trade I took. Full TP with the SR rejection scalp taken on the 5 session plus 100. So there goes that one right there. And then I'm just going to screenshot my profits real quick. Man, I'm starting to really hate MFF, guys. A lot of slippage right here. You guys are going to see. Yeah, the slippage is crazy. I met with the owner of one of the prop firms that I discussed yesterday, guys, and it's funny because he was like, dude, all prop firms suck. The only prop firm that's actually really good is FTMO. He owned a prop firm. He's like, his prop firm sucks. He's like, dude, it's crazy. All these prop firms are just trash. It's like they can't compete with FTMO. And it's crazy to hear from him because he even said his company sucks. I'm not going to tell you which company, but the company is going to get shut down soon because, well, not that they're not getting shut down. It's just he's going to leave. He's going to leave and do his own thing. But yeah, to hear that from an owner of a funding company and say, all these funding companies suck. They just moved to a new broker too. It just shows. So I'll show you my profits. I got like half profit on my MFF, which is getting really annoying because my liquidity here or the slippage worked in my favor for my FTMO. And you guys saw how price spiked up. The slippage should have worked in my favor. And I'll show you real quick. Yeah, because that slippage, like you'll see all my accounts here, except for my FTMO copier. But my MFF only gave me 510, which is like barely cutting half of the profit that I should have got. I should have got at least 1,000. And you saw that price went straight up, like it went straight through TP and it just kept pushing up higher and higher. So if I was to get slippage, the slippage should have worked in my favor. So let me just show you real quick. Okay, so let me post this up as well. The liquidity over here. That was a nice liquidity push. I haven't seen a daily liquidity get hit in a long time because the daily liquidities are usually really far out. But this one was like super nice. Okay, so let me just show you my profits real quick. Here's my main account. I just took a tester trade here. During the mentoring session yesterday, I kind of messed with my MT4, so I had to reinstall it. So I just took a tester trade here just to make sure that everything was working fine. This is my main account. You can see the green strip, full TP, locked in a total profit of 2,420. Here's my F2 number 2 count, total profit of 1,620 for the day. And then here's my MFF. As you guys can see, it's a huge difference. I was supposed to make 1,000 on this trade. It gave me like about half, 510. So, I mean, I don't know. MFF is okay, but from when I was talking with the owner of the other prop firm, he mentioned that, yeah, MFF is going downhill. They're okay, but they're not, like, they're still paying out, but they're just not on point. You guys have seen my profits. They've been like half profit, if not less, for the past couple like months now. Even yesterday, you guys saw my profits. I was in profit on my FTMO, 2,000, profit 1,100, and then right there, negative 300, right, for my MFF. Doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is, guys. Like, I'm going to keep using them unless they have issues of payouts, but for the most part, they are, I mean, it's just, I got to deal with it. It's how it is. All right, so there's no other entries right now, guys. There's nothing for us to take at the moment. I'm going to go and take a look at everyone's profits. So if you guys have profits posted up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, we will continue looking for more entries here. Anyways, yeah, you guys saw my profits right there. Let's just take a look at them real quick. Let me just scan through the market real quick, make sure we're not missing anything. All right, there's no other entries available right now, so we're not going to be missing out on anything. I want to make sure we're not missing any trades here. Let's see, Brian's asking if there was a V1 here. So this is not a V1 because the overall bias is bullish. In order for you to have V1 variation, you need to have an overall bias. You have to be trading in the direction of overall bias. So for today's bias right now, Brian, it's bullish. So you wouldn't take the V1 there. I know it's a V1 pattern. You can see it's a double body right there. So it's a V1 pattern, a reversal pattern, but it's not a V1 variation because you need to be trading in the direction of overall bias. Looks like it probably still hit though. Yeah, it still hit his TP. If you remember from the beginning, Brian, before we didn't have this requirement for overall bias, but I incorporated this overall bias so that we're always trading in the proper direction of market. So if you want to trade the old way, which I don't teach, you can still trade every reversal pattern, but I don't really recommend it because you're going to get a lot of fake outs. So yes, it's not a valid V1, but it is a V1 variation pattern, not necessarily a V1 variation, but it's the reversal pattern that you're looking for. So it's not one I would take. It's just risky because if you take V1s in both directions, they'll probably hit most of the time, but you might get caught on the wrong side of the market, especially if the bias is very strong for one direction. All right, let's take a look at everyone's profits. There's no entries to take right now, guys, so don't worry, you guys are not missing out on any entries here. Let's scroll down real quick. We have Kenny over here, total profit of 1,060 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. Full TP on that buy earlier. We've got, let's see. We've got Maria over here. Maria locked in a total profit of 2,882, or sorry, 2,822 for the day, all wins. Amazing work right here, Maria. You took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back-to-back wins. Nice. Yeah, Maria took entries before and after market. So she's on fire right now. She's killing it. It looks like you might be over trading a little bit, Maria, but you did well and you did hit your profit. So that's good to see. Just be a little careful, right? You don't want to, it's good to get in the groove of like taking trades back to back, but you just want to be careful and not to over trade too heavily. Other than that, we have a V1 variation coming up right here, guys, but the candle looks a little too big. So I don't think it's one I would personally take. Yeah, the candle looks way too big. So it's probably due for retracement, but this is a V1 variation that is setting up. It is a red flag though, because the candle's too big. So I'll mark it up for you guys there. I'm not going to take the trade. I just want to show you guys a natural V1 pattern. The only problem here is that the candle is too big. So what red flags do apply? As you guys know, the red flags apply to pretty much every strategy except for the high-low momentum scalp. So red flags when to avoid trades when price is near sessions, price is near opening price, price is near news price, basically any horizontal line here. And also when the candle prior to entry is too large or if price is ranging. So I'll leave this right there if you guys want to follow it. Went straight to full TP. If you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. It's not one I would have taken because obvious reasons right here. Price is kind of, well, the candle was just a little too big. One of the red flags. All right, let me scroll down real quick and let's see what else we got over here. Nice, RX had finally on the leaderboard. RX over here made about, so RX killing it. If you guys know RX here, he's been part of the group for a while. He has a lot of accounts. I don't know how he's doing it, but he says that there is like a platform that he uses to copy all of his accounts. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He has like 11 accounts. They're all like kind of split up though. I think they're all like 50K accounts. So he has them all split up. Ark over here made it 330 times, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has about like 7 accounts that made about 345. So Ark over here, 345 times, it said 7 accounts. He made about 2,415. So great work right there, Ark. Ark's really starting to catch on. So I know Ark's been trying to work hard and understand what we're doing here. If you guys remember Ark, he's one of our old members. He kind of went away for a little bit, came back. He just rejoined recently and he killed it today. Took that one trade for a buy. Made about like well over 2,000 for the day across all of his accounts. He's using NinjaTrader. He was trying to figure out like his lot sizing. I was trying to help him out, but I couldn't really help him because I don't use him. But he looks like he kind of got that on point. So yeah, one trade right there, add it all up to a bunch of wins. So this is something that I might do as well. I heard from other people that it's a little bit easier to it's a little bit easier to split them up into multiple accounts versus just taking one big lot size because the order gets filled super easily. So nice work right there, Ark. Keep it up. And we got Rick over here, total profit of 101 for the day, 2 back-to-back wins. Nice work, Rick. Yeah, you guys are killing it. Great work, guys. There's still no entries available, guys, so don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything right now. You can see prices now ranging right here down the middle. Not really much movement. There's no liquidity anywhere nearby either, so you're not really going to miss anything for this either. There's no liquidity above. That was the highest liquidity, that daily liquidity. And then the liquidity down below over here is super far away. So it does not look like we're going to have any more liquidity trades for the moment. But other than that, we will continue to see what is going on from here. Let me keep looking at everyone's profits real quick. Market's kind of slow right now, so we're not really missing out on anything. We got Kevin over here, his first account, total profit of 28,420 for the day, all wins. Took those buys straight up. Nice work, Kevin. Yeah, definitely. Kevin said, I'm still here on the YouTube every day, trading with you and listening to your analysis. Awesome. Yeah, no, it's good to see that you're still here, Kevin. I know you're like not always present, but it's good to see that you're still on here. On these YouTubes with us. And he made a couple more profit here. He's now up 33,720 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. Yeah, solid work, guys. So you guys are killing it this morning for Trap Tuesday. We got Kenneth over here, total profit of 210 on his first account. And then here is Kenneth's second account, total profit of 314, all wins. Nice work, Kenneth. We got Nathan over here. He took both trades, the liquidity push and also the SR rejection, total profit of 3,880 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Nathan. Solid work right there. We got Sisuk over here. All right, we have Maddie over here, total profit of 355 on his first account, all wins. And then he had a second account, total profit of 760 for the day, all wins there as well. We have Maddie over here for the week, total profit of 1,140 on his first account, total profit of 620 on his second account. We've got Sisuk over here, total profit of 4,500 on his first account right here. All wins. We have Sisuk's second account, total profit of 2,600 for the day. All wins here as well. And we have Sisuk's third account, total profit of 2,500 for the day. All wins. So you guys are doing really good today. Looks like everyone here has straight wins. We have S over here, total profit of 1,240 on his first account. And then his second account, total profit of 1,665. Nice work right there. Solid profit. Everybody's got all wins today. It looks like a lot of you guys took both of the trades this morning that we identified. So great work right there. We have Andrew over here. He said he took 2 down trades early, but he got it back with the SR and doubled on that liquidity. Total profit of 2,080 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, he made a couple mistakes right here. It looks like this morning, and then he bounced right back on those 2 wins. So solid profit right there, Andrew. We got Kenny over here, 1,060. We have Sam Barty over here, total profit of 1,289 for the day. Great work, Barty. And you're about to hit a new record. I think this is your new record right here, right? 1,200. I think last week it was like 700. Now you're up like 1,200 in one day. And then we have Delicia over here. She said she caught 10% growth on her live account with this one trade today. She hasn't traded live for almost a year, working up to get ready for FTMO challenge. If she's consistently taking 1 trade a day with the right mindset on my live account, she'll be okay. Yeah, exactly, Delicia. That's the key thing here. So Delicia over here took 1 trade, full TP, total profit of 5,303. She made 10% on this trade right here off her live account. If you guys attended the mentoring session yesterday, I mentioned to you guys that there's a lot of people in the group who are focused on just taking 1 trade a day. If you guys want to do that, I think that's probably your best option to basically guarantee passing your challenge. Because if you just take 1 good trade a day, which is basically going to be the liquidity push on open usually, if that's the only trade you're taking like about a 3% risk, you just need about like, a couple good days, 3 or 4 good days, and then you will pass your challenge because you'll have about 9-10%. That strategy wins very often. So like, for example, if you took the liquidity push today, right here, you would have had a full TP right there, easy with no drawdown, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys are having trouble with being consistent or, just even passing your challenge, you might want to just focus on just taking 1 trade a day. Just stick on this live session, take the liquidity push every morning, win or lose, wrap it up, take it, and then take the next one. Because eventually you're gonna have a great week. You're gonna pass and you're gonna have a great month. Because we haven't lost we lost 1 liquidity push yesterday. It was my mistake. I entered too early. But for the past 2 months now, we haven't lost any liquidity pushes. So, it's pretty much a foolproof way to pass your challenge and just become consistent. Gian here is actually one of the people who's doing that, right? He's only taking 1 trade a day. Took 1 trade today, took the liquidity push, full TP, made 2,420, and he's done for the day. That's it. So Gion's one of the examples here. And when he gets funded in the next couple of weeks, you guys will see the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Yeah, a lot of you guys saw my story. My next door neighbor just got a new Urus. So this is the car next to mine. I want to get a Urus so bad, but I don't really need it right now. So I'm going to get it eventually, but it's like the same spec that I want to get to. It's a pretty nice Urus. I want to get a purple Monte though. That one's like a normal one. So we got Kevin over here, total profit again. He took some more trades, total profit of 44,920. Nice work right here, Kevin. You're killing it. Well, guys, I got to take a water break. There's too many profits to cover. Everyone locked in like crazy profits today off those 2 trades. All right, don't worry, guys. We're not missing out on any trades. We just have a lot of people who made profit this morning with us during the first 2 trades. So we got a couple more to look at. We have Patricia over here, her first account, total profit of 1,545 for the day. Nice work right there, Patricia. We have Patricia's second account. She took the liquidity push, total profit of 1,410 for the day. All wins right there. Nice full TP with that green strip. I think that's the best feeling. When I see that green strip, it's like, I let that trade run. And it's like perfect whenever you see that green strip right there. Patricia over here as well, her third account, total profit of 2,385 for the day. All wins here. Nice work, Patricia. Yeah, doing great right there. Let me go and just adjust this again. So price is pretty much just in this big range. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, we have this lower low down below, and we have this higher high up here. So price pretty much came up. And if it retraces down far enough, target price point is probably going to be opening price down here. But there's just nothing. There's nothing to take right now. So don't worry. I know some of you guys are looking for an entry, but there's just no entries for us to take at the moment. So you guys are not missing out on anything right now. Let's get back to the profits. We have Jonathan over here, total profit of 668 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Jonathan. He took both the trades as well, SR rejection scalp and the liquidity push for a full TP right there. Great work right there, Jonathan. Yeah, nice recovery from yesterday. Yeah, we got more profits. I thought I was done. But we have Cameron over here, total profit of 1,050 for the day, all wins. Nice full TP right there off the liquidity push. We got Maddie over here. We already covered those, 355 on the first account, 760 on the second account. We have Vincent over here, total profit of 580 for the day. Nice work, Vincent. Solid work cashing that trade earlier this morning. And we have Natasha over here, total profit of 1,195. Nice work, Natasha. Yeah, solid work right there, guys. And then we got Andy over here, total profit of 163 for the day across both of his trades, all wins. Nice work, Andy. All right, guys, I think that's it for the profits right now. If there's any other profit that you guys have, feel free to send them in, but I'm gonna take a break from reading profits. There's just, there was just, there's a lot of profits here to look over. So nice work, guys. Yeah, exactly. Anderson said you made it back, but didn't the liquidity push miss to the upside yesterday? I know nothing hits 100%, but it's a killer hit rate. Yeah, you're 100% right, Anderson. So yesterday, the liquidity push loss, that was our first loss that we had in over like a month and a half. So it has a killer win rate. We did have that loss. I did catch on the ride back up because I did catch the V1 variation. There's another V1 variation right here, guys. I'm not going to take it though. It's too late for me to enter. But there's a V1 variation that's technically running right here. But yeah, Anderson is 100% right. We took the trade. I got in a little too early. Unfortunately, I didn't wait for the retest. I took the loss, but then I took the V1 on the way back down, and then it shot right back up to full TP. So I did make the trade back, but I'm counting that as a loss. So, I just want to be transparent with you guys. Not every trade, not every strategy is going to be 100%. And you guys just have to understand that losses are going to happen. But it's okay, because if you have a high enough win rate, you're going to bounce back over the next couple of days. It is, I mean, it's going to hit. So yeah, if you guys are looking to just find consistency, I think just stick to the liquidity push once a day. You're going to win most of the trades. So if you're doing like a 1-to-1 risk reward for 300 pips, or even doing a partial TP, you're going to balance out either way, because you're probably not going to lose very many. I mean, you're going to lose here and there, but for the most part, it is pretty solid. All right, scrolling up, FF said, yeah, scalping with MFF is horrible. Yeah, I know it's kind of tough. I mean, it's just been tough for the past couple of months. It wasn't like that before, but they did release new rules with, like, I guess, set slippage and set execution times. It just seems like their execution times are late. So let me just check real quick. I mean, the execution times are the same, but I don't know what's going on. Like right here, my entry, well, it doesn't say my entry point, but it does say the time right there. I'd have to pull it up individually to see the difference between the execution time for entry and execution time for exit. Because I mean, that might be the case, but I still should have made more profit on the MFF. Yeah, Visual Traders said MFF, the bigger your lot size, more spread. Simple as that. What? I'm taking a 200 lot on FTMO Visual. I'm taking a 100 lot on. I'm not even gonna delve into that. I feel like Visual always has like something to say that kind of like, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. Bro, I'm taking a 200 lot here. It's going perfect, and I'm doing a 100 lot here on MFF, and it's still giving me half profit. So if anything, the MFF should be, or the FTMO should be giving me less, but it's okay. I don't want to dive into that because it's just going to annoy me more going into the details of like, you can't really like control it. Like some funding companies are going to be subpar compared to other ones, right? It's just gonna, and I don't even deal with it. It's like, okay, if they pay me out, I'm fine. They're going to give me half profit here and there, but it's just gonna, it's just how some prop firms are. Like if you guys remember TFF before, I did TFF, I would pass the challenge like within a couple of days, and then I got funded. They put me on another server. And then every trade was negative. Like literally every trade was negative, and I was making full profit on my FTMO and my MFFs. So it just depends on the platform that you're trading on. MFF used to be really good, but they did announce that they were changing their settings and stuff like that a couple months back. And ever since, the execution times weren't as good. And the slippage is typically the execution times, because if it executes at a certain time for FTMO, if it executes late on MFF, then that's what slippage is, right? Slippage between the time that you hit sell and the time that the trade gets executed. That's one thing I covered with the prop firm owner last night as well. He's using his prop firm, like the spreads suck with them, but I mean the spreads aren't that great. Like right now, the spread's 190 on FTMO. The spreads with them is like 260, so it's not a huge difference, but their execution times are a lot better. So like as soon as you hit buy, you're in the position. It doesn't give you like a delay. I feel like with MFF, there's a delay in between entry points. And that's why I get small profits here. Like the profits are less, because obviously if I'm entering the trade like a second later, it's not going to get the full profit. So I don't think it's paying for spreads. It's more so the execution times. The spreads, I don't know what the spreads are on MFF, but from other people in the group, they mentioned the spreads aren't that bad. So it could be a combination of things. It could be spread, execution, and slippage. Execution and slippage go together, but I mean, I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into that stuff. It doesn't matter to me. It's not gonna make a difference. Like it's not like me figuring out the spread equals this and that's gonna make a difference for my profits. So I'll just take it as is. I'll take whatever profit I can get from MFF, but I'm going to start looking for an alternative, hopefully. Anyways, let me see if there's anything else over here. Andrew said about to head out for the day in Vegas. Got to get some range time before our tea time. You got to golf out here, Sean. See you tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Andrew. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, no, I want to play at that course next to Encore. I gotta try it out one of these days. Yeah, we'll take a trip out there. We'll take a KC trip out to Vegas with the golfers. We'll do a golfing trip. We'll go see the Win. Yeah, that's right. The Win course. We'll go play with Daniel. I know Daniel lives out there in Reno. Yeah, Ruin to Shadow Creek. Maddie said we'll hit EBC after, or Dre's. Yeah, we'll hit both. All right, guys. So there's no entries for us here. I know we're going a bit off topic, but there's just no entries for us to take here at the moment. So don't worry, guys. You guys are not missing out on any trades here. Today is Trap Tuesday, so just keep that in mind. It is a little. I mean, you guys can see there's not really much going on here, but you can see a lot of traps getting set up. Like for example, right here, this is lower low right here at this moment. See how price is kind of just going back and forth. I see this as a trap setting up right here because price can really go in either direction. Price can either break below and go back to opening price. That's like one scenario. Another scenario is price will just bounce up from here and retest the upper zone. So there's just a lot of fake outs here that can play out. So just be careful if you guys are looking for entries. I'll try to give you guys, as concise of an analysis as I can. But at the moment right now, there's just no entry for us to take at the moment. You can see over here on the Queen chart, price isn't really doing too much. There goes a high point. Price is just in a big range. So as you can see over here, price is just going back and forth between this area. It's just going back and forth. And that's not the type of market that you want to trade in. You typically want to trade in a market that's going directional, right? Something like that. Or even in the opposite direction. You want to trade in something that goes like this. This could be the possible direction, and target price can be down here. But the thing that you want to be careful for is the fake out, right? The fake out is really what's going to screw people over here, because let me see if there's another zone down here. There's not even any zones down here. So this might be the case, but I don't think it's going to be this simple. I think price will probably fake out, come back up, retest it, and then maybe come back down again. But there's a lot of different scenarios here. Basically, whenever you guys are trading, you want to have like basically two scenarios. You don't want to have like 5 different scenarios. As I showed you right here, there's like so many different scenarios that can play out. Price can create an M shape. You guys know what the M shape is, right? That's one scenario, right? M shape. Another scenario is price can just keep coming down from where it's currently at. That's scenario 2. Scenario 3 is price will just go back up from where it's currently at and then come down from here, right? There's just too many scenarios here that can play out that makes it a little too risky. Like you can take the sell here, but price can just reverse on you and stop you out. Or you can take the buy right here and price just continues dropping down to opening price, and then it can stop you out in that direction too. You just don't want to have too many options. Whenever you guys are analyzing the market, you want to have like 2 set options. Like, okay, best case scenario, price comes down, goes to opening price, and then you'll be perfectly fine. And if it goes up, you lose, right? The last thing you want is like 5 different scenarios. And then say you lose right here and you revenge trade to the buy side, and the price comes back down, you get stopped out again, and then you get annoyed and you want to revenge trade again, and you take it back to the upside, and then it stops you out again, right? That's how people lose accounts, because they revenge trade once they like, because sometimes like people already have this like idea in their head where price is going to go. And every time they lose, they try to move on to the next idea, and then the next idea, the next idea. And that's how revenge trade happens, and people end up blowing their accounts. So whenever you trade, you want to be set on 2 different ideas. Basically, your idea here, like for example, if you're looking for a sell, you want to have that main idea set in your mind. Like if this happens, great. If it doesn't happen, take the loss and move on. But if you have like a bunch of ideas, you're just going to try to act on every idea, and you're just going to lose every trade. So just just keep that in mind. We might see or CSUK here. Yeah, CSUK's Batman pattern might come through right now. We've seen some interesting patterns. There's been some people in the group who like come up with a lot of crazy patterns. Like the M pattern and the W pattern is given, that's normal. Double bottoms, double tops, but there's some people who come in with like Batman patterns, or they mention like moon cycles and stuff like that. I think the moon cycles ones were kind of threw me off. So if you guys remember the moon cycles, there was a guy who came in and he tried to explain his moon cycles. That stuff actually kind of worked for a little bit, and then we realized that it didn't work. It just was kind of, we were forcing ourselves to look at something that wasn't really there. I think the indicator is still on here, moon cycles. Yeah. Moon cycles. It's not even there anymore. Yeah, if you guys have seen moon cycles before, there's some people that live by that stuff. Like moon cycles, they say that the market moves a certain way. Like every season it changes. The market does change per season, but I don't think there's like a certain direction based off like how the moons align and stuff. Anyways, price is pushing down, as I mentioned earlier, guys. Target price point would be the opening price right here. But as you can see, if you look at the current candles right here, price is starting to consolidate sideways. So there's 2 different scenarios here. Price will either drop down and retest the opening price, or it's going to consolidate right here and correct all the way back up. But you just want to be careful. I just want to, my main goal here is to teach you guys discipline, because I feel like a lot of people don't have discipline to follow their trading strategy or their trading style. If there's no entry here, like for example, there's no entry here for me, so I'm not taking any trades here. There's no V1 variations. There's nothing here really. There was a V1 variation right here that played out. It already hit TP. So if you guys saw the V1 here that played out, this one over here already hit full TP a long time ago right there. Other than that, there's no other entries. This is the V1 that I marked up earlier. I didn't take it, but I did mark it up. There was one right here too. They both hit full TP. Other than that, there's no other entries here at the moment. There goes a new lower low. So let's see if that plays out. You guys saw it here. I just mentioned that, right? I said 2 scenarios. Price will either come down or retest opening price, or it's going to consolidate here a bit, which is exactly what happened. And it may correct back to the upside. So that's how you guys should think of things. Think of best case scenario. Is price going to come down to where you're expecting it, or is price going to reverse? So if you would have taken a loss here or taken a win, you would have had like a 50% chance that it would play out. My guess is that price will go up because my bias here is still bullish. Let's start over and take a look at the overall bias again. Now that we're kind of deep into the session, short-term time frame over here is still neutral. As you can see, the one minute time frame is currently bearish. Price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. Right here on the 5-minute, price is straight neutral. It's right in between. Price is going sideways. Trend meter is green, but the pivots are going sideways. Here on the 10-minute, same thing. Price is in between the pivots. Trend meter is green, but price is going sideways. So with that said, short time frame over here is going to be neutral. Long time frame over here is still bullish. You can see here from the 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour time frames, price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green and the pivots are angling up. With that said, we have a bullish trend here on the longer time frames. Next up, we'll take a look at the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment over here is currently 64% short. This indicates that 64% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. So right now it is still bullish. So I'm still looking for a possible buy here. Don't have anything yet, but possible buy here. Lastly, we'll take a look at the fundamentals right now. Fundamentals are currently up 108 points. So they are bullish as well. We'll see if it holds, but it is still bullish. So right now, today's overall bias is basically bullish for the most part. So things that you might want to look for are V1 variations to the upside, V2 variations, possible swing backups, high level momentum scalps to the upside, things like that. So we'll see where this ends up going. Yeah, Rashida said high-low scalp pending. There was one pending there. It looks like it's not going to happen anymore because the candle didn't close. Candle right there is kind of big with a huge wick, and it's coming right back down. So there goes the trap that I mentioned earlier, guys. So as I mentioned earlier, I said there was 2 different scenarios that can play out, right? See how this trap played out? If you took the sell earlier right there, you would have taken a loss because price would have swung up. And then if you chase this buy right here, you would have taken the loss because price came right back down. So this is a trap that I was just referring to. You can lose in both ways because price will it'll fake you out. You might enter sell at some point, price will shoot up, stop you out, and then come right back down. And then at this point right here, you'll be too scared to re-enter the trade. And at that point, you're pretty much done. Price is going to be right back at opening price like we were discussing. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm trying to open your eyes to see that, this manipulation does happen on Tuesday. We don't call it Trap Tuesday for nothing. A lot of traps do get set up. So on Tuesday, it's safer to be a little more careful than, taking these random trades. Again, right here, this can be another fake out. See how this candle has a huge wick? Right here, people can be chasing the sell, but as soon as people enter the sells there, I wouldn't be surprised if price swings all the way back up to stop them out. Right? So just keep that in mind, guys. You got to keep an open mind. Don't be too narrow-minded when you guys are analyzing the charts. Like for me, I never knock anybody's strategy. I have one way of trading, but if someone shows me or tells me that they see something different, I'll analyze it for them to see the difference in the trade, because I know that my strategies and the way I trade is not going to be 100%. So yeah, whenever you guys are trading, never try to knock anybody's strategy. Try to see their way of analyzing the market, because they might be onto something. They might be able to save you from losing a trade. There's a V1 variation that's pending right here. I don't think it's one I would personally take because, as I mentioned, a lot of fake outs are playing out right here, and I don't necessarily want to get caught in this fake out. So there's a possible V1 variation. I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take the trade because price can still come down and hit opening price right there. So I'm not going to take this trade. I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. So there goes the V1 that's currently pending, went straight to full TP right there, right? So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. As I mentioned, I thought it was too risky because there's 2 different things that can happen here. The problem here too is that if price was to pull down even further, it might come down and hit my stop loss, right? Because the opening price is still right there within where the stop loss is currently at. So as you can see right here, a lot of people are taking sells because price is trending down for them. But I'm looking at the opposite right here, which is the V1 variation that just came up. So you can see how our analysis can coincide, right? If someone's just trading basic trend patterns, they're going to be taking a sell here. Like if someone's just basically looking for a certain pattern here, you know, for direction of price, they're going to take the sell. So like, say, for example, someone here tells me, oh, this is going to be a sell, right? And I'm like, yeah, it could possibly be a sell, but I see a V1 variation coming up over here. So you're probably going to get stopped out. If I was to like work with somebody, or like if someone was telling me, okay, this is what they see and this is what I see, I could have saved them from taking a loss right here, right? Because they could have taken a sell here and they could have basically gotten stopped out as price pushed up. But with my analysis, I mentioned that there was a V1 variation. I didn't take the trade because the other analysis could have went against mine. So yeah, whenever you guys trade, just, you know, have an open mind. It's okay to have different types of knowledge with trading, but for one, find your style of trading, stick to that style, and then use other people's analysis as a confluence. Don't use it as like attacking your style, because everybody trades differently, right? There's not one way to trade, and there's not one way to make profit in the market. Like I trade a certain way. A lot of people don't like the way I trade, but the way I trade works for me, at least, and for a lot of you guys here. So I just stick to what I know. But yeah, if someone else has a different, you know, viewpoint on the market, I'm not going to knock it. I'm going to like see what they got to say, and then I'm going to disprove it because I know mine's usually probably superior. So it just depends on the person, right? There's a ton of different strategies out there. Some strategies have high win rates like ours. Some people have low win rates, but bigger risk to reward. You know, it's just, there's different types of trading styles. But I think this strategy works best in this type of market because it's such a choppy market that our ability to get in and out of the market super quickly is beneficial for us. So yeah, let's keep that in mind. All right, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, definitely. Rick said the strategy is working out for me for sure. Yeah, you know, my strategies kind of click with certain people very well right away. And for some, it just takes some time to grow on. But once you guys actually get it down, it's going to be super, super beneficial. Let's see. Kevin said you took sells because of the bias, against the bias because of the breakout. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Had to sneeze. Man, this weather sucks here in California. And it's we haven't had sun like so long. I heard on the East Coast it's sunny, which is weird. Like it's usually pretty sunny and hot here by now. But this weather's been giving me a lot of sneezes. Let me scroll up real quick. Sorry, Jackson. I just saw your message right now. Jackson said, I don't know if you answered my question. I was OTP, but is it too risky to manually get in and out? Yeah, I think your question up here, I saw it earlier, Jackson. Sorry, I saw it and then I missed it. You were mentioning that you were trading on your phone, right? Yeah, Jackson said, I'm just on my phone for now. Is it sketchy to get in with no stop loss and take profit and get out manually? If you're actively on it, Jackson, I don't think it's necessarily that bad. There's Natasha's in the group. So if you want to talk to Natasha, she's in the premium group. She does the same thing because she's at work. So she's at work listening to this live session and watching, and she's entering on her phone. So it's doable. So I'll show you Natasha's profits. Natasha over here. So she locked in 1,195. She trades just like you said. She trades on her phone manually. I wouldn't recommend it, but she does it every day. So she locked in 1,195 today. She locked in 620 yesterday. She locked in 1,245 the day before. She's taken a bunch of trades too. The day before that, she locked in 1,065. So you can see she's consistent. Every day she's locking in profits. The day before that, 925, 665. You know, some days she takes more trades, some days she takes less, 460. She's on a hot roll right now. She had one day where she had a loss. I mean, it happens, right? She missed the trade, had a couple of mistakes. So she'll have days where she has losses, but for the most part, I mean, she's pretty consistent. Every day's been a winner. I think she's had like maybe one day where she's had a loss, and it was just because she missed the exit. So, yeah, I mean, it's doable. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you got to do it, then you got to do it, right? You don't have any choice. So it's just up to preference. Yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, Roosevelt. So Roosevelt said, thank you. It's Roosevelt, by the way, from years back, had to come back. It got rough trading FX pairs the past few months. Yeah, no, definitely, Roosevelt. It's good to see you back here. Yeah, FX is just, I don't know, it's not it anymore. Like for me personally, I don't like trading Forex because it takes forever for the trades to hit. I still personally trade odd USD sometimes. Like I have my chart open right here, but it's not my preferred asset, right? Because like if you were trading odd USD last week, you can see how price didn't go anywhere for like a whole New York session. It hit my TP, but I was holding that position for like hours. So for me personally, I know we started off with Forex like way back, but I personally don't like trading Forex anymore. It just takes too long. Volatility is not there. If I was to go back and restart trading, I would just trade US30. I've been trading US30 every day for like the past like 5 or 7 years now with you guys on these live sessions. And I made more profit trading US30 probably like within 1 year versus my entire career trading Forex. So there's just a lot more opportunity trading US30. And I like that US30 is like volatile during a certain time period. So we can just trade from like 6:30 to 8 and I can be done for the day. That's the whole reason I got into trading was for freedom of time. Like I'll trade with you guys here from 6:30 to 8 and I got the whole rest of the day to do whatever I want. So it is beneficial. There was a high-level momentum scalp right here that came up that CJ mentioned. It just hit full TP, guys. I didn't take the trade because I didn't see it as a good trade. It happened around this area of consolidation. But if you guys did take the trade right here, it looks like it did hit TP. It blasted right through to it. So there's a lower low right here. I'll put the criteria for the high-level momentum scalp. There was a lower low right there. Valid momentum signal for a buy. Price broken close past the pivots right there. And then it provided for the entry. So yeah, I see your message right there. So Vincent and Daniel are mentioning that this candle over here broken close past it. This is where it gets a little tricky. So that's another reason why I wouldn't have taken the trade. Because the thing is right here, there was a gap, like a small gap in price, right? Because price technically closed above here, but it looks like it didn't because it was a red candle. But yeah, that's another reason why I wouldn't have taken it. So I know that you guys identified this as a high-level momentum scalp, but for me personally, if I was to look at this here, I wouldn't have taken it because for one reason, price was consolidating, wouldn't have been the type of entry that I was looking for. Plus this right here technically closed above. I mean, if you look at a different broker, let me look at US30. So let's just look at a different broker real quick. So look over here, it didn't actually break and close past it. See right there, Daniel, but you'd have to be on a different broker to see that because there was just a little price gap right there. So price technically didn't break past it, but if I was on YM, I wouldn't have taken it because price did technically look like it broke past it right there. It's just, this is another sign to indicate that, okay, the market's really not moving like smoothly right now. Because usually you don't have those little gaps in between, right? It's usually like a smooth flush move. That's how we catch the B1, B2 variations. But this right here would have been another hint, like, okay, I wouldn't have taken the trade. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys the explanation there. Technically, it would be a high-level momentum scalp, but then again, technically it wouldn't because this candle right here looks like it broke and closed past it. I just knew that it didn't because in order for it to actually break and close past it, this right here would have to like close up here and then it would start from there and move down, but it didn't. But yeah, both sides of the analysis would be proper. If you identify this as a proper entry, that would have been okay. But also if you identify this as breaking, closing past it, it also would have been valid as well. So it's kind of like it's the little intricacies that it's hard to really tell for sure if it would have been a good entry. And if it's not for sure, then I just wouldn't have taken it. Like I just wouldn't take it at all. All right, Maria. Maria said, see you tomorrow. Thanks, Sean, for all your knowledge. Definitely, Maria, we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Let me see if there's anything else over here that I'm missing. Yeah, Kevin mentioned that he doesn't use a hard stop loss when he trades. He enters and exits manually. Yeah, so Kevin again. So there's like two people here that for sure don't use stop loss for the most part. They just manually enter and exit. Like if you can like trade with manageable risk, you can do that. Like Kevin over here, he understands the risk. So when he gets too deep in the drawdown, he'll just pull out. But again, you just have to be you have to be directly following the market. You can't just be like taking a trade, step away, and then think that your trade's gonna be all right. You have to like actually watch for the drawdown. Yeah, so Hussein said that he enters and exits manually on the liquidity push. He caught some extra pips due to slippage. Yeah, so Hussein as well. I mean, it just depends on the trade. Sometimes it's, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. Oh, nice. Yeah, Edwin said he works in Irvine, and the weather's been strange. Yeah, it's been super strange over here in Irvine. Like right now, I usually don't have to turn on the light in my office because I have like direct sunlight from the outside. And today I had to turn the light because it's been so cloudy. I don't know. I'm ready for summer. So hopefully it starts to get nice and warm out here. Anyways, guys, I know we're going off topic, but there's no entries for us to take right now. We have a new higher high right here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that up. But as you can see, price just stays within this range. I'm gonna go over here to the clean chart. I'm gonna mark it up over here as well. It's easier to see on this clean chart because there's nothing on here. But yeah, you guys can see that there's just nothing here. Let me zoom out real quick. All right, so here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, from structure here, price pretty much pushes up, consolidates for a bit in this range, breaks below, and now it's just consolidating within this range right here. I think this range is probably even worse than we had earlier because price was actually moving directional. But right now, price it's broken below, rejected, 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 right? Not really too much here. It is going sideways. Question from Edwin. Edwin's asking, how long did you trade Forex before switching to US30? So I've been trading on and off for about 10 years now. I started my first 2 years trading stocks and options. And then I started working as an attorney. So I just didn't have time to trade during morning hours anymore. So I had to like trade at night. And then I went to Forex. So I traded Forex for about probably 4 years. And then maybe like 5 to 6 years. So about 5 to 7 years back, I got introduced to US30. Initially, I didn't like it. If you guys remember, like back then, like there was people in the group who would always tell me like, hey, Sean, you have to trade US30. And I would say, no, I wouldn't, because it's like, if you trade US30 on your personal account, it's like you could blow your account in like one day. So I wouldn't trade it because I was too scared to trade something that was so volatile. Yeah, I had nothing to do with US30. Like people kept telling me like, you have to trade US30. It's so fast. It's so easy. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm not going to trade it because I'm going to blow my account if I do that. So I couldn't trade US30 initially because it was just too risky. And then once these funding companies started coming out, that's when I started trading US30. So probably for the past 5 years, I've been trading US30 every day, like live with you guys here. And I still traded Forex outside the, I traded Forex with US30, but for the past, I guess, probably 4 years now, I've been strictly with US30 for the most part. So I traded Forex for like maybe 4 years. And then for the past 4 years, I've been trading US30. And then in between that, I was trading both for a while. The only problem with Forex that I hated the most is that you have to be on the chart like every day. Like I used to trade the 4-hour time frame. So I would be on the chart and then I have to come back like 4 hours later to see if my trade is still good. most of the time it would be good, but it was just always a headache because you have to be on the chart like almost every couple hours. You couldn't really enjoy your day. Like I would trade with you guys live Forex, and then I'd go to the gym and I'd have to check my trade while I'm at the gym. And then I'd come home and I have to check the trade, and then I have to check the trade again. For US30, it's we just trade from 6:30 to 8, and all my trades are closed out by 8 o'clock, and then I just go ahead and do whatever I want. So I mean, it's up to your lifestyle, right? If you want to have freedom of time, I think US30 is probably the best thing to trade. You can trade other indices too, like NASDAQ and S&P, but I think US30 is probably the best one because it's so volatile. You don't really have to wait for too much. You just find the proper direction, trade off momentum, and get in and out. Like for example, today I'm already up. How much profit am I up today? So for today, so far, I just took one trade with you guys. Obviously, I have multiple accounts. You guys can do this too. I have 2,420 on my first account, 1,620 on my second account, 510, 510, 510. I'm up 5,570 off just one trade today. I could have had two trades, but I missed the liquidity push. If I took this trade, I would have been up like crazy amount right now. I'd probably be up like 15,000 for the day across all my accounts. Because if I took this full move over here, I'd make like 12K. So 12K plus 5, I'd be up like a crazy amount. But it's all good. Like I think that's the big thing too. Like a lot of people, they feel like they can make more, and that's what makes them a revenge trade. For me, I've been trading for so long, so like even $1,000 profit is good enough for me, because that's pretty much my attorney salary for a week, right? Yeah, because when I was working as an attorney, I was making like 160K a year divided by 12. That's 13K a month divided by 4. So this is how I do the math, guys. If you guys want to see like how much money, like if you're able to replace your job with trading. So right here, when I was working as an attorney making 160K a year, as a new attorney, I was making about like 3,333 a week, right? I make this a day now, which is trading. So you just got to reverse engineer it. Like if you want to make 100K a day, and I think that's a problem with a lot of people, is that they feel like they need to keep making more and more profit. If you want to just reverse engineer it, like say for example, you want to make 100K a year, right? Just divide that by 12 months in a year, divide that by 4. That's 2,083 a week. You divide that by 5. So that's your goal right there. If you want to make 100K a year, you just have to make 400 a day. It's not that much money, guys. If you think about it, look at everybody here who traded in the live session with us today. So you look at Cameron here, he made 1,000, right? Everybody here, if you do this consistently every single day, you could easily make 100K a year. It's just the thing is a lot of people get greedy. Like Patricia made 2,000. I don't think there's one person here who made less than 400. And all you guys did was copy my trade. Okay, maybe Delicia, but she's on her live account. Everybody else here, 1,000. Andrew, 2,000. Essa, 1,000. So if you guys can keep your mindset where you're just focused on winning the trades and not on the profits, you guys can easily make a certain amount, right? Like Maddie over here, 300. Nathan, 3,000. So just keeping things realistic, right? Like 300 a day. Like if Kenneth could do this every day and make $300 a day, so you do 300 times 5 times 4 times 12, that's still 72,000 a year. If you can just do this consistently, just trade with me one trade a day, take the liquidity push, take your wins, and then move on to the next day. You'll easily make whatever goal you're looking for. And then at that point, you just add on multiple accounts. Like for me, I just take one trade a day. I have 5 accounts. It's not that difficult. You guys just got to reverse engineer it. Yeah, Talanji said 3 to 5% a day is really easy here. You're the go. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is, guys. It's just following through. And it's just following through and not getting greedy. Rick said he only made 100, but that's okay. I'm going to get, yeah, no, exactly. Rick, you got to start somewhere. So Rick made 100 today. You know, that 100 might turn into 200 by next week. That 200 might turn into 300 by the next week. And then, you know, by the end of the year, you're going to be making like 500 a day. And you do 500 a day. I think that's a good number. Like if you could do 500 a day with like 1 or 2 trades, times 5, times 4, times 12, that's 120,000 a year. I'm sure a lot of people could live comfortably off that, or even half of that. All right, so there's no entries here right now at the moment, guys. There was a high-low scalp that came up right here that Maddie mentioned. It came through, and it was a full TP right there. So there's a lot of entries that are coming up, guys, but for these live sessions, there's only 2 official strategies that I'm necessarily looking for. You know, I'm looking for high-low momentum scalps, which we don't have here. And then I'm also looking for liquidity pushes, but we don't have any liquidity here because liquidity down here is super far down below. And there's no liquidity up top right now. I kind of want price to go back and forth for a while so that we can identify liquidity for tomorrow. Like, for example, see how price is going back and forth within this area? I actually want this to happen, and I want price to range so that tomorrow when we trade, we have a bunch of liquidity on both sides. That's going to be beneficial for us because if we have no liquidity on the top side tomorrow, and we're kind of screwed, right? Because we're not having any entries to take for liquidity. So, I mean, we'll keep looking for entries here, guys, but it's not looking like we're going to have anything anytime soon. It's 7:41 right now. So I mean, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. Volatility is pretty much dead. And market is just going sideways now. Yeah, there's not really too much going on here, guys. Sideways movement. It's pretty much in a range right here. Back and forth in this area. All right, Maddie said he's going to let it flow. MC4 close for now. Question from, let's see, Rick said 500 times multiple copy accounts. Yeah, exactly, Rick. If you do 500 a day times, like if you could do what Arik did, like Arik over here killed it. He had like 7 accounts. Yeah, Arik had 7 accounts. He made 300 per account. So it added up pretty easily. And you're familiar with this, Rick, because you're familiar with Apex. So you know what Arik is doing. So you can basically do whatever he's doing. Yeah, if you want to get in touch with Arik, you guys can talk about it too, and you guys can help each other get to that next level. Because I know Arik is trying to get help with Apex, but it looks like he's figuring it out. So good thing. I know he's been messaging me, but I can't help him because I never used it before. All right, question from Brian. Brian's asking, Sean, may I ask the red zone that just passed, is it a liquidity push? No. So these red zones right here that I've drawn, Brian, these are just higher highs and lower lows. I'm only drawing them because that's how we identify high-low momentum scalps, because so let me put the requirements here. So for the high-low momentum scalps, the trades are going to be moving from the higher highs and lower lows. So these zones right here, these red or pink zones, whatever color you want to call it, they're going to be identified as higher highs and lower lows. So for example, right here, there's a lower low. So I marked this up as a zone in case we have a buy entry, which came up right here. And then same with this, I marked up a higher high. So in case we get a sell entry that comes up right here, we can identify it. It's going to be easy for us to look at. I usually just keep up the closest one, so I'll delete the other ones. I also do it so that you can identify the range. So see how price is ranging back and forth right here? It's so you can see market structure. But this right here is just it's just the higher highs and lower lows. The liquidity is going to be the blue lines right here on this chart. So if you look over here, Brian, I have different tabs. The orange tab is going to be liquidity, and you can kind of see the name right there, liquidity. Blue is going to be the main chart. This is where the high-level momentum scalps are going to be. And the blank chart right here is going to be the clean chart. So this chart has nothing on it. It just has markups. This here is just for liquidity. Liquidity is typically going to be a blue line, and it's going to have the number of liquidity on it, like 2-hour liquidity. The blue chart is going to be all the markups here, applying the high-level momentum scalp. And these charts over here are just extra. This is the SR rejection scalp. I don't really use this too much. It's just for identifying entry sometimes. This is just a higher time frame. And this is the multiple time frame to identify what the trend is on the shorter time frames and longer time frames. So I'm just trying to make it easier for everybody to see. If there's any confusion, just let me know and I'll explain it to you guys what each chart means and what each market means as well. Yeah, no problem, Rick. I do that so that you guys can not miss the high level momentum scalps. It's kind of ironic because I still miss it myself, but this is to help you guys identify when high level momentum scalps are coming up. But it's all good. You know, I'm always trying to make things easier. I'm always trying to look for things to be easier for you guys to identify things, and so that we can trade efficiently. Because if I didn't have these things up, I'd probably be getting like 100 questions all throughout the session. But now that I have these marked up, it makes things a lot easier. Let's see. Satyam said, double wick V1 concludes net 970 pips for me, and he is done. Thanks, Sean, for today. Definitely Satyam. Satyam locked 970 pips for today. Just catching his rejections. So yeah, price is pushing back up right here, as you can see. It's just pushing up a little further. So target price point for this year is probably going to be the next zone. I don't know if this will push up there directly, but if it does push up, that's going to be the target price point. Hey, Brock, how's it going? Made it today. Missed out this morning, Brock. There was like 2 good trades that came up. We had an SR rejection scalp that Brian identified, and then we also had a liquidity push that went straight to TP. I missed that one, but I took the first one. All right, here's Maddie. So Maddie is, he's up over 1% on each account. Currently up 600 on his first account. Total profit for the week is 865. And then his second account over here, total profit of 1,350 for the day. Total profit of 1,730 for the week so far. So Maddie's up 1% on his account, and he is now done and wrapped up for the day. So nice work right there, Maddie. Some more profits here from Sisu. He said he's going to call it, hit his daily goal. And on a day like this, he's not going to bother. So CC over here locked in a total profit of 5,650 on his first account, all wins. Nice work right there, Sisu. Sisu's second account, total profit of 3,200 for the day, all wins as well. Nice work, Sisu. And Sisu's third account, total profit of 3,150 for the day, all wins here. So guys, if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. I have a lot of profits to post up today. I might have to make, I mean, the video is going to be pretty long to cover everybody's profits. Yeah, today I got a lot of profits here to share with you guys. So if you guys have more, feel free to send them in. But we do have a ton here to share on the video today. Yeah, 35 profit posts, which is good. It's not a bad thing. It's just a lot of profit posts. Typically we're like around the 30 range. Looks like we're at the 35 range today. So it's good to see a lot of you guys here profiting with us this morning. Even if there was only 2 trades to identify. CJ said the Dow is currently up 167 points. So let me check that real quick. Yeah, they're up pretty high right now. So I guess we can update that slightly. So market's very bullish. I think price will continue pushing up. Let's take a look at the short-term bias. Short-term bias is now bullish as well. You can see we are right here on the 1-minute prices above the pivots, trend meter screen. Pivots are angling up. Same with the 5 and 10. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that up over here as well. And we have a very strong bullish bias right now at the moment. Yeah, looks good. One more question from Brian. Brian's asking, do liquidity push have a specific time to be used? For example, it can only be used during opening market. So for the liquidity push, Brian, I would use it. If you want to go for 300 pips, I would typically go for open only. But for every other level of liquidity, like for example, down here, if the 2-hour liquidity here gets hit, it would still be okay, but I would only go for 100 pips. So instead of going for the full 300 pips, because the volatility starts to die down, right? So like as you mentioned, time specific. If you do it on open, the volatility is very high, right? So like, for example, right here, see how the candles are moving very, very quickly? If price comes down to this point right here, and say it's like, 2 hours from now, market volatility is now low. When it gets to this point right here, it's probably going to work out, but I would only go for 100 pips because, see, if you go for only 100 pips, it'll likely go through, hit your TP, and then go back up. So you can trade liquidity all throughout the day, but I would recommend only going for a smaller TP if you're going later in the session because the volatility is very low. Same with Barty over here. If you see Barty, he sent his profits. Yeah, so Barty over here sent his profits from this morning. He trades outside the live session. You can see, so some trades here he'll hit, some trades he'll lose because the volatility is kind of low. But yeah, he pretty much trades throughout the day too. So, and his last trades here were during CPI, so it was during news. So I'm sure these trades over here, market was very slow, didn't really hit his TP, or maybe he had his TP too far out. But he still did pretty good for the most part. Yeah, exactly. Barty said, Sean, I was in a buy slippage, didn't trigger stop loss, made 800 pips on that single trade. Past 2 and 3 CPI push up before the day before, it blasted right through and the bias worked in his favor. Yeah. So yeah, Barty here, he trades outside the live session. So you can still take trades, but I would go for a smaller TP, like 100 pips would be solid if you want to trade liquidity outside of the opening range. But then I would stop trading around a certain time. Like I wouldn't trade pre-market too early, and I wouldn't trade towards the end of the session because then the volatility is very slow and it's probably going to just stay flat. RX said, Sean, I just need someone to translate pips of 100 for FTMO versus Apex contract size target. So Rick over here is responding to your message right there. All right, if you want to message him, you guys can talk. But Rick said 10 points equals 100 pips. He has ATM set up in IntraTrader for 30-10, 30-20, 30-30. It makes it easier for the setup. Yeah, no problem, Brian. Glad I can help you with that. All right, guys, so it's getting close to 8 o'clock. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We have a couple more profits over here from Patrick. Patrick Stevens over here, he said, I love it when I have nothing but green strips. So all full TPs over here for Patrick Stevens, total profit of 4,558 for the day, all wins. So solid work right there from Patrick. Straight wins across the board. Great work right there, Patrick. Some more profits here from Sisu. He said he lied. He's still back in here. Some more profits here. Sisu locked in 6,350 for the day, all wins. His second account, Sisu locked in 3,800 for the day, all wins as well. And Sisu's third account, total profit of 3,800 as well, all wins here. Other than that, yeah, CJ said I lied too, Sisu. So CJ actually took another trade too. There's no other trades here right now at the moment. There was a higher high that was right here. This was a high low momentum scalp that was setting up, but it didn't actually close properly because the candle here did not break and close past pivots 1 and 2. We had the higher high there. You need this candle here to break and close past the pivots. If it did, that would have been a good entry because it would have lined up perfectly and it would have went straight to TP. Unfortunately, it didn't, so there's no entry there. But if it did, it would have played out perfect. Yeah, Rashida said there's a pending momentum scalp coming up soon too. All right, guys, so it's getting close to 8 o'clock. If there's any other questions, guys, feel free to pop into the chat. Just a reminder, I'm having 2 mentoring sessions today. So if you guys have access to the strategies and the indicators, I am doing one-on-one mentoring sessions. I haven't done them in a while, but I'm bringing them back just to help out whoever needs help in the group. I typically don't like to do one-on-one mentorships anymore, but I am helping a few people. So for today, we have a mentoring session with Hussein at 4 p.m. And then I have another mentoring session with Martha at 6 p.m. So that's Pacific time. So right now it's currently 8 o'clock. It's about to be 8 o'clock. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. In about 8 hours, I'll be back here for a one-on-one mentoring session with Hussein. And then it's the same with Martha, 2 hours after that. So I don't know if it's going to be publicly streamed. I'll ask Hussein and Martha if they're okay with it. If not, then it's just going to be private. Yeah, perfect. Are you okay with it being streamed, Hussein? There's no nobody will talk. It'll just be me and you. But if you're okay with it being live streamed, okay, cool. So yeah, 4 o'clock, me and Hussein will have a public stream. Nobody's gonna be able to talk in it. The chat's gonna be turned off, but you guys can sit in and watch it. So Hussein's gonna ask me whatever questions he has. We're gonna go into a deep dive and make sure he understands everything. And I'll be mentoring him one-on-one. So, all right, yeah. So Hussein is going to be public. You guys can watch it. Martha is going to be private. So 4 o'clock, if you guys want to sit in on the one-on-one mentoring session with Hussein, I'm going to have, you guys are more than welcome to attend. For Martha, it's going to be private. So that one's going to be closed off. Yeah, no problem, Martha. Thanks for the heads up. So now I know, and everybody else here knows as well. I know, Eddie, I saw the other one. Let's see. Roosevelt said her DJ was up 100 plus points, but need more confluences. So you would have to have like some sort of catalyst for entry, Roosevelt. Like, so for example, here you need like a high level momentum scalp. For these live sessions, I'm only applying 2 strategies: high level momentum scalp and liquidity. There really wasn't any entry here to take anything at the moment. So I wouldn't have taken anything, but if there was an entry, you know, you could have taken the entry based off that. But yeah, at the moment right now, there's nothing to take necessarily. I mean, not to say price isn't going to go up, but the confluences here are kind of like, they're kind of iffy. Like the overall bias is bullish, but if you look over here on the 1 minute time frame, you know, price is kind of just going sideways right now. You don't necessarily want to just enter a trade at random. You got to wait for like some sort of entry point. Like for example, right here, price is down below, but price can come back up. So I would wait for price to retrace down a little bit, maybe reject off the structure or provide some sort of V1, V2 variation. And then from there, I would maybe, you know, look for some sort of entry. Yeah, let's see. So Roosevelt said, I got in on the wick breaking the resistance he had, but it never closed. I was up then it went down. Yeah, you want to wait for the confirmation. So let me see. I'm going to try to find the structure that you were looking at. Yeah, because the closest structure that I can see right here for resistance would probably be this area right here, Roosevelt. Yeah, if you saw price breaking close past it, like price pushed above it right here and closed, then you can maybe take an entry there. That'd be considered like a high-low scalp. But at the moment, I just don't see anything here right now specifically. There's another opportunity right here that you could have taken. So the other opportunity would have been right here. This would be considered a high-low scalp, I think. Yeah. So this right here is something that you could have taken, Roosevelt. So let me just show you an example right here. So see how you were talking about structure? If that's how you want to trade, you would use a high-low indicator, identify the higher highs. So right here we have a higher high. See how there's structure right there? This candle broke and closed past it. You would confirm momentum. Like for example, we have momentum here for a buy. And then you would look down and make sure the trend is bullish. The trend is bullish right here. You got a bunch of confluences right here, right? Price broke and closed past it. That's one confluence. You had bullish momentum. That's a second confluence. Trend meter right here is green. That's another confluence. If you turn on the pivots over here, you have even a third confluence or fourth. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 confluences right there, indicating like, all right, I can now take a buy right here. So if that was the case and you could identify the buy right there, you would have taken the trade, let the trade run for a bit, kind of went sideways, but eventually it would blast right through to your TP. So this is, this would be an entry that you would take. You shouldn't just enter at, you know, at random, or if you are looking for an entry, try to wait for the candle to actually close, because you can get a lot of fake outs here. Yeah, it seems like you got caught in a fake out, like the way that you were entering, because you mentioned that you got in on the wick breaking the resistance, but you didn't necessarily wait for it to close. So I would recommend that you wait for the candle to close, because if you're patient and you wait for it to close, you can have that confirmation that, okay, it's going to be a break and retest. So price broke and closed above it, retested, came back up, and went straight to your TP. So that's one way to do it. I mean, I could show you a lot of ways to trade, but we have tons and tons of strategies that you can learn from. You don't necessarily need the indicators, but the indicators will make a huge difference, because you're not going to have to guess where structure is sitting. You just turn on the indicator. So like, for example, here, obviously this is a clean chart. Like, see how you have a clean chart here? It's hard to tell where the structure is sitting, but if you have the high-low indicator, you turn that on. Like, okay, you got structure right here. You got structure right here. You got a lot of structure. And if you wanted to trade the opposite direction, so for example, right here, it's the same pattern, the one that you just mentioned right now. See how you have structure right there, price broke and closed past it. That'd be your sell position right there. And you can see right there, it's probably gonna push down a profit. Right, it's making its way down. No, I wouldn't sell right here because there's no bias, but I'm just showing you this is the pattern that you were looking for. So definitely don't sell right here, Roosevelt. You got to make sure that you got some type of strategy in place. The bias right now is still bullish, so I wouldn't take the sell here. I'm just showing you that this is the pattern that you're looking for. If that's the type of strategy that you like, you would take the trade, but you would have to like wait for the price to push out, because the bias right now is bullish overall. Short term right now is neutral, but the long term bias is bullish. So yeah, but it still would hit TP. I just wanted to show you. I don't want to give you bad habits. Like, I don't want you to look for every break and close and take every single entry, because you want to have at least some better confidence. But I just wanted to show you, like, if that's the strategy that you like to apply, then I think the high-low scalp would probably that'd be your thing. CC likes to apply that. Maddie likes to apply that. There's a lot of people who like to apply that. It's it's a favorite strategy for a lot of people. So yeah, but yeah, you're right. It would have hit CP. It looks like. Yeah, it like barely touched right there, went straight to TP. So I want to give you a little something to look at there. You can do without the indicators, but it is hard because you don't have you're not going to have the high-low indicator for the structure. And then you're also not going to have the momentum. So I think this is a key thing, having momentum and having the high-low indicator. And then on top of that, having the pivots for trend, and then having the trend meter down below. Like, I wouldn't take it right now because it's blue. If it was red, then okay, it might be a little better decision to take it. But it's just a lot of, there's just a lot that goes into it. Let's see, one last question right here from Roosevelt said, I was watching the live of you catching small moves without momentum, but today isn't good enough. We took that trade earlier this morning, Roosevelt. I think you came in late today. So we did take that trade without momentum. That's applying the liquidity push. So this one right here, this is where everybody made the big profit. There's some strategies that use momentum, there's some strategies that don't. But for the most part, we do use it. So it just depends on which strategy you're taking. Let's see. So we got, Barack over here says, hey Sean, this is from yesterday's live, lost the liquidity push and entire session sucks, so we stayed out. Pound start today, but we'll hunt later when I get settled. Yeah, no, it's fine, Brock. Yesterday was kind of a tricky market, so it happens. But you've been on a win streak for a couple of weeks now, a couple of months, so it was about time, right? Can't be 100% forever. All right, guys, it's 8:04 right now. It's past our live session time. At this point, that's where I have the line right here. The market's going to start moving sideways for a bit, so probably not the best time to make any entries. If you do want to trade, I'll probably wait until 9 o'clock until the market starts moving again. But right now, I think market's going to go sideways. I think we also have news coming up today as well. Let me check. Yeah, we have news over here at 8:30, 52-week bill auction, and then at 10 o'clock, 30-year bond auction. So I want to be a little careful with entries here. But yeah, if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to So let me know. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up. Yeah, Barty said tomorrow's FOMC Sean price action will be trash. Yeah, I think it's going to be a back and forth market tomorrow until we have some sort of direction with regard to what the FOMC is going to be releasing. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys are new here, just go on the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access right here. This will give you access to the course. If you guys want to learn any of the strategies that I just mentioned, here's what the course looks like. Let's scroll down, go down to main strategies, high level momentum scalp. And then also, if you want to learn the V1 variation, just go down to scalping strategies, the high low that I just mentioned to Roosevelt, pivot scalp, triple confluence, V1 variation, V2, V3, etc. They're all available for you guys. Later today, we're going to have a mentoring session at 4 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a private one-on-one mentoring session though, Roosevelt, so there's not going to be any questions. It's just going to be a one-on-one of me, Hussein. But if you want to sit in on it, you guys are all more than welcome to sit in and listen to his questions, because a lot of you guys probably have the same questions he has. But all right. So I think that's it, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys back here in a couple hours for the mentoring session. So in about 8 hours or so.